Bang, welcome back to the podcast. Bang, it's the podcast. Synchronicity.
Is key to a good podcast.
Exactly.
It's the reason why people aren't watching past the opening. I mean, they're just like,
Yeah,
Put all of it in sync. Like, welcome to be a good podcast.
I know, right?
I agree. Shall we spin?
So,
anyway,
we got half an hour.
we need to
get through
explain
all
this.
of these.
We are going to do a speed run of
Of-
the final spookies
because we can't afford to make this many episodes.
Yeah.
exactly. We didn't think about this.
No, we
Keep
did
the
not.
energy up. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
energy.
3, 2, 1.
E.
Energy.
Let's go!
Oh,
Yeah!
so much crack.
What are we landing it on?
Spooky songs. Favorite spooky song? Go, Robbie.
Thriller.
Why?
It's got Michael Jackson in it.
Fair. Finn.
This is Halloween. From
Why?
Nightmare Before Christmas. Because it's good. It perfectly lays out the spookiness of Halloween, and it makes a really good thing in terms of the song.
There's only like one more spooky song left that I know, and it's the Monster Mash.
Why do you like it, Monster Mash?
I don't.
Oh,
It's just the only one left.
that's really unfortunate.
Spooky, scary skeletons.
Oh, yeah.
yes, that is-
Oh no, that song from Funny Bones.
In the dark, dark.
The naked bones connected to the
The-
something bone.
Also it goes da da da
And go Oogie Boogie song.
da da da.
Ah,
from the
Oogie
film.
Boogie song
Boogie.
is supreme. Or how about the song that they use in no.
Somewhere over the rainbow because of the
Go,
music
go.
video.
Well, what have we got now?
Just spooky Halloween.
Spooky.
Oh,
Halloween, man,
Halloween.
it's spooky. Go.
experiences with Halloween.
Trick or treating.
Go. Carry on.
Elaborate.
I went trick or treating.
And
And
Got
what happened?
sweets.
did anything exciting happen?
No, I just thought we were talking about Halloween.
Oh, okay.
No, okay, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, one time I was in a graveyard on Halloween, walking through it, and I think I brought up The Walking Dead, and one of my friends didn't like that and had to go at me for some reason, and that was spooky. Cause what the fuck?
Spooky for
Yep.
your friendship.
What
Cool.
the fuck?
What the fuck, man? Okay. Go.
Specific experience from Halloween. I remember once I dressed up as, remember that urban legend, Jeff the Killer? You remember that?
Nope.
Fuck you guys.
I wasn't even there.
But basically, I was wearing a hood and makeup that sort of darkened my face, and I had a very realistic
Are you telling
looking.
me you went blackface?
No,
You
it was white paint. It was
You
white paint
minstrel.
with like I had black around my eyes and red because blood. Because blood is
Ooh.
scary.
Yes.
I don't like it. I don't like it when it comes out my body. Anyway, so I was strolling out of a house, and then I saw a group of people whom I recognized from our school. I decided to be spooky, and I didn't really look at them for a sec while brandishing my knife, and I slowly turned to look at them. I could hear some very nervous laughter and nervous talking as they all sort of whispered to themselves, staring at this weird individual who was staring at them. I then suddenly ran at them, causing them all scream and run away.
Who were they?
I don't know, but I know Aiden was part of that group.
Oh shit.
He was part of that group and was on with various other girls. So that was fun.
Well, that wasn't spooky.
But that was the specific experience I remember from Halloween. Now, Brandon, speak.
Pumpkin got stolen once.
Really?
Yeah.
That is spooky.
Who the spin the wheel?
Who stole your pumpkin?
Who needs a carved pumpkin?
When you're desperate. I
Yeah.
didn't buy a pumpkin. You're going to want the neighbor had a suspiciously similar pumpkin to me.
Huh.
The homeless man outside my head, outside my hedge was, oddly enough,
Outside my
You-
head.
hedge.
Oh, hedge.
It's fine now. It was oddly using a pumpkin to sleep on. Yeah.
Sleep on.
Sleep
remember
on. Yeah.
we saw a
sleep in.
We saw a Mike Wazowski pumpkin once, and that was funny.
Oh shit.
It was like the boy he about to do it when he's like running. It was great.
Although last Halloween, a load of us went round to this man's house and we watched Scary Movie, and you know how there's
funny.
the black person in it who smokes the weed.
Mm.
He's great.
Someone that we know, Alex. Everyone else should know him. It's fine.
Yeah.
You should know him. He
He
appears at your window
know,
every now and then.
the first scene that this man comes in on, Alex goes, "Yo, is that Snoop Dogg?" So
Well, we already knew he was.
yeah. So racist.
Yeah, well,
Every
Snoop Dogg
black
was
man that
in
smokes weed.
Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg did
Snoop-
eventually appear in a
Oh.
scary movie. Oh, fuck off. I'll speak of the devil.
It's Alex.
It's Alex.
What do you say? What do you
Oh.
say?
He said a meme.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he
Just-
was in
just
the franchise.
Casually puts the N word.
eventually. Thank you, Alex. He's outside listening. He's up there probably.
He
Um,
can't say the N word until
Oh yeah, because he,
Turn of the
he,
new
had
year.
he had a New Year's revolution. No, say it.
Yeah.
Not that
And
he's saying it
also he's
anyway.
white.
Don't arrest us. What?
What?
Probably bad
What?
to mention. We're aware.
Change
Okay.
topic.
All right.
Oh, yeah, we
spin
need
the
to spin
wheel.
the wheel.
No. I wanted to spin it.
Well, you can spin it again.
Oh,
Spooky-
spooky
spooky
CGI.
CGI.
Spooky
The
CGI,
the uncanny Gemini man with Will Smith. That's uncanny because they use CGI to make him look
Oh,
young.
you're
and
you're
that
talking
looks
about
really weird.
spooky like that.
Yeah, they just can't do faces with CGI and it makes it look really weird. But that's a different topic and it's
Topic.
not topic and it's also
Dog.
not very interesting. Go, Finn.
Scooby-Doo from all the live-action films.
You've just taken my thing.
Oh, too bad because he is absolutely stupid. Because seriously,
Oh,
he
you're
d-
talking. Okay, that's fine.
he no longer he no longer looks there in any given scene, and I'm not even gonna get it started on fucking Scrappy Doo in that movie because he looks absolutely terrible. Every all the monsters, everything in that movie looked terrible.
It was Scrappy, not Raffy.
You thought it was Raffy Doo?
Who's
Yeah.
Raffy Doo?
I don't
Melvin Doo?
Melvin Snacks.
Okay.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's fine then. Good, because no one got a joke that I said earlier. That doesn't actually make sense now that I look back on it. Because
Wait, you made a joke earlier?
You've been making jokes.
Wait.
Never mind. Go, go,
No,
go.
tell me. I've forgotten it.
No,
Tell me.
No, it's not
No,
funny if you repeat
it's not
it.
funny.
Yeah, but it wasn't funny the first time.
Yeah, because I got it wrong.
So why will it make a difference?
Let's just leave it, man.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
not funny. I
You,
can live
you.
with that.
Oh,
You.
scary CGI.
That is scary. Yeah.
Oh, man,
cheers
that's
for
terrifying, dude.
You took my Scooby Doo thing, so I've got nothing else left to say.
Be more creative.
What do you mean? You just went before me. You know that film?
Oh yeah, that one.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that one.
I
That
love
had-
that film.
That really
Classic.
terrible. Oh, okay. Literally every Doctor Who episode before quite recently.
Just Doctor Who CGI. is scary.
CGI
No, because when they do 100% CGI'd characters,
Mm.
It looks
Yeah.
terrible.
awful. Like
Yeah.
the
The eye, whenever
The
it was
Atraxi.
Matt, yeah,
that was okay, but
it was still CGI.
Yeah, but
I'm
it was
trying
not.
to give a reference, man.
but the episode entitled "The Lazarus Experiment,"
Continue.
where he transforms. You know, where he goes into that machine that makes him look younger,
Okay.
but instead he just mutates into this weirdo thing. That looks really bad. As well as the episode with Vincent
I have another
Van Gogh.
suggestion as well. The Spoony Spoon from the Numberjacks.
Holy shit!
Spoony,
No,
Spoony
you
Spoon
can't-
and the Blob. I think.
Don't even at me with Numberjacks. They were so good.
Spoony Spoon and the Blob from the Numberjacks were terrifying. Like they were like these because they were like looked more realistic than the actual than the normal Numberjacks.
Which one was the blob? Was he the floating face?
He was the weird mass where he held like an eyeball that would stretch out.
Google it, James. I want to
Are
see.
you thinking of Monsters vs Aliens?
No, that's Bob.
the Blob
I
from
know what I'm
Numberjacks.
talking about.
Seth Rogen.
Yeah, Seth Rogen, funny man. Numberjacks has to be in caps. Yeah, him.
Oh, that.
The problem blob. He was terrifying.
Oh, I'm thinking of that dude, that dummy down there. Did you see him?
No. Oh my god, someone made him. How?
No.
But no, him. He was terrifying.
All about the problem blob.
Okay.
Okay.
I had one of those.
Oh, me too. Yeah.
Shall we spin the wheel?
Yeah, go.
What did I say?
Experiences.
Experiences. Whenever we were in junior school and we did the, there goes my phone.
And we did. There goes my phone.
Yeah. We did the scarecrow story. One of the teachers told us about that thing. No. Basically, every now and then, whenever I'm sleep deprived, I will hallucinate about something. If I've got something in my head, Actually, I'll just skip that one and go to Primeval.
No,
Okay.
I know of Primeval.
Yeah,
but
it
I've
had
never seen it.
dinosaurs and stuff in it.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, one night went to sleep, woke up, middle of night, feel like there's something at the window, open the curtain slightly and see like two eyes staring back at me and like this creature's sort of goblin-looking face staring back at me. I was very young at the time. Closed it, put duvet back over, and cried myself to sleep. No, I didn't. I just went back to sleep. But yeah, sometimes I hallucinate about stuff. It's
How do you
odd.
know you hallucinated it? It might have been a cat.
Just a cat in my bedroom watching me sleep. That's spooky in itself.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's carry on.
One time.
Oh, actually, I had a dream about Casey. She was like this spooky, scary woman, and she was just watching me sleep, and that really freaked me
Are you
out.
sure you weren't just experiencing it?
She might have been there.
She is omnipotent, so that's fair enough.
Yeah, so when I was actually it happened fairly recently, probably like a few months ago, I was in my bed, chilling, sleeping, and
Doing
or
something
trying
else.
to, but until I feel like I heard footsteps outside my house, and I was thinking, okay, cool, both my parents are in, so I imagine there's walking by, and then what I thought was climbing on like the roof platform outside my window. And I was like, okay, because I felt like I heard someone climbing on a bin.
Oh.
So then I heard footsteps going along the thing. So I was sitting there thinking, am I about to be robbed? Because I didn't want to check because I didn't want to alarm the robbers.
Oh
'Cause-
yeah,
and then
because they
have
could
them-
have fallen off and died, which would have
Exactly.
been terrible.
Well, no, but I didn't want them to like suddenly just smash the window in or something or get very violent with me. But yeah, and then I didn't hear it for ages, and I felt like I heard footsteps other places in the house. So I was thinking, wait, are we actually being robbed? I don't actually know, so I didn't want to check. But then suddenly all noises just stopped. I didn't hear anything leave. I didn't hear anything, else. Just all noises just suddenly stopped. And then I did hear, although apparently in the night, some guy tried to break into our car.
Oh.
Apparently, yeah, my dad apparently yelled at him, saying, "Go away."
Oh.
Well,
What a telling off.
I
that was.
imagine it wasn't "go away." Knowing my dad, it was probably "fuck off," with probably a weapon in hand.
Oh yeah, your dad's got like that baseball bat. Or
We have
something.
two.
Yep.
One by his bedside.
Just wielding two baseball bats. Whenever Robert's like, come at me.
For Asgard. Jumps.
From your bedroom window, he was the one climbing outside. Just launches himself.
He jumped onto the platform and jumped off. And just elbow dropped him.
What, with the baseball bats
Oh,
in hand?
from my
Yeah.
dad. From my dad. That
Didn't
must
use
have
them
hurt.
at all.
They just threw them at him. Just knocked him out. Apparently we did leave. Apparently we left the car unlocked. We had nothing inside to rob though. So
Except the car.
Yeah.
yeah, but they couldn't. there's no way they could have.
If you hotwire
moved
it, you could.
I don't think this man had the knowledge, considering he was drunk
Oh, okay. that's fair.
and apparently there was people going around. Apparently there's people going around just like pulling on the door handles to see if they open and then walking off.
Oh.
Like apparently it happened to my neighbor once. They just they heard someone just pull at the door, then they looked out, no one was there.
Spooky.
You.
Me.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I have two.
Go for it.
One was about 3 years ago. It was on D&V, and we had
Oh, this
It
is gonna be good.
yeah.
Oh.
It was at night, and we were just like chatting amongst ourselves. Me, Josh, and James were all just like lying in our tent, and we heard the rustling of leaves outside. Like it could have been the wind, so we discounted it. Like it could have been anything, but then we heard a twig snap. We heard a stick like that, and then all of a sudden, our tent, the pole at the top of the tent snapped. So you know how when you put in the pole like in each other, they sort of interlock.
Yeah.
It didn't come apart. It was further down. So it was in another point where the two poles didn't even meet. It was just on one of the poles, and it snapped, and it fell in on us. And we asked around, and apparently it was no one. So even though we heard the twig snap, and we heard movement outside our tent, and then a second later it breaks, but no one did it. That's a bit weird.
And you still question me really hard, and you still do. Like,
I just wanted to know. Like, we ended up making it. It was an Irish bear.
yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, I mean, if someone did it, I would say, I was like, oh yeah, that was me. Sorry. I decided to scare you for a bit and snap your tent. No one would say if it was them. So they probably could have just been anyone.
But I've asked afterwards. So without like anyone there, I asked afterwards. They were like, nah.
No.
And the other one that I had was actually quite recently, and it was about 1:30, 2 in the morning, and I got up for a piss because nighttime piss.
I mean, as you do, we have bodily functions. I'm peeing right now.
So I get up and I open my door.
He was the. Just turn my microphone. He was the one pissing. Don't have a go at me, James.
All right, go.
I just
go.
joined in
I want
afterwards.
to hear the story.
Okay, so I open my bedroom door, and I go out on the landing, and very faintly, I think I hear the doorbell, and I'm like, I've just been watching something. Maybe I'm just like remembering stuff in a weird way.
Yeah.
But then I hear it again, not 5 seconds later. So I'm like, okay, what? So the way that my doorbell is, it plays like quite a long tune. It's not short. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's just like a prank. Maybe it's a hooligan. Okay?
A rascal.
Yes, a cretin. So
Hooligan.
I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to go for a piss. And I hit spamming it. Like, loads. So I'm like, what? So I go downstairs. But because when you're outside,
Lone Brandon.
you can hear people coming down the stairs when they do. But I didn't want anyone to see
Know
me.
that. Yeah.
So I took it really slow down the stairs, and the doorbell was still going. They were still out there pressing the doorbell, and I managed to get up, behind the door, so in like the porch, and I'm looking through, trying to keep my head below the window where they can see in, and there's no one there. But since the time the last doorbell rang, and I got there, it was about 3 seconds. And I look out there, and there isn't anybody there. So I go out into my living room, because I've got a window that sort of looks round to the side of the door, so I can see if anyone's gone that way, and I can also see if anyone's gone that way. There was no one there, and that was really weird. So I was like,
Interesting.
You should have done that one for the spooky story, because that actually is.
Yeah, that's a much spookier story than
than Africa.
than the continent of Africa falling on a car.
But just like kind of off topic, the most actually no, it's kind of on topic. The most spooky sort of experience you can have is just being in a house by yourself, because you hear everything. Like, I swear, you're hearing. Yeah. So
When I'm alone in the house, I have stuff on. I
Yeah,
always
I'm
have
the
some
same.
sort of music on to distract me from hearing things,
Yeah.
so that I'm just
Better.
Because you
I'm
get
not-
so paranoid.
yeah.
And it's just horrible.
Mm.
Anyway,
We'll spin some.
Finn can spin it.
I hate you.
Spooky TV shows.
Woo! Spooky.
Woo!
Woo!
Okay, Finn, go.
Hey, spooky TV shows. Fuck. I can't think of many.
I'll give you an anime one. The Promised Neverland.
Actually, yeah, The Promised Neverland is a good spooky one.
Yeah. If you wanna get
What?
Oh, boy,
Don't get me started.
Spookly the Square Pumpkin with his own merch.
Oh
the
no!
most messed up show.
But
I've
yes,
ever
that
seen.
is a It was a very good. It was a very good. Oh my god, no!
Oh, that
Oh,
is
when now I'm watching.
terrifying.
Oh, that is
No,
actually.
that's terrifying
my
CGI.
God. Oh no!
Okay.
Oh, that's worse than A Bug's Life.
That literally is.
Oh, why has it got fangs?
The logic of how they move doesn't make sense.
I thought they were ants. Oh shit, they're
They're
spiders.
discriminating against them.
This is.
Oh, guys, look!
I'm sorry.
Guys, look! It's a number.
Oh, you okay? Wait, answer it.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Put it on speaker.
Oh no! I missed it.
I'm gonna call back.
Call back. Come on.
Speaker. Yeah. Call back.
Please check the number and try again.
Aww.
You rang him. What do you mean it's not a number?
That's unfortunate.
Spooky, okay.
Spooky TV shows.
So the promise, like you suggested, the Promised Neverland is a quite it's a good spooky one. It's about kids who are living in a orphanage in the middle of this forest.
As you do.
That they're all wearing plain clothing. They get fed, and they've all got like tags, like number tags on their necks.
Spencer told me about this.
And basically each they do these tests like every now and then. So and then every sort of couple months that a kid is taken off to go given a family. However, it is discovered that the children are being in fact bred to be eaten by these strange demon creatures. And it's about these three kids, Ray, Emma, and Norman, and their attempts to try and escape.
Yeah, it's quite psychological.
It is. It's very good, and it has some very, very good use of tension in some scenes. Very good use of
I
tension.
haven't seen it all yet. Though.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, I really recommend watching all of it. It's so good. It's also quite clever as well.
Yeah.
Like the escape plan is also quite intricate. But yeah, Brandon.
Okay.
We did a duo one.
Yeah. So
Oh, alright.
so you get to
Yeah,
do
so
one on
up
your
to-
own.
The original, the 1969
It.
cartoon. No, that was 1994.
What?
The 1969 Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? It's not spooky, but it was made to be spooky.
Was it?
That was its originally. It was first pitched as a show called Who's Scared? Okay, and it got rejected because it was too scary.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, but then when they rebranded it to Scooby-Doo and they made the dog the main character, it became less scary. But they've incorporated some good ideas. They didn't shy away from clowns.
No.
So they've got a clown. They've got some good villains. But I'm a fanboy, so you know. And also, this is going to be the second time talking about Doctor Who.
Oh.
But their spooky episodes, when they go for it, they are quite spooky.
In fairness, the one where they got the scarecrows.
Yes,
But the
human nature.
main ones are the weeping angels.
Oh yeah,
Any episode with weeping angels is creepy.
Yeah.
Blink is the one that you remember.
Yeah. It's really. Yeah. That's a shout.
The Silence in the Library. You know that one?
Yes.
The skeleton in the
yeah.
space suit. Midnight.
What one's that?
The one where she's copying everything that everyone's saying. You know that on a diamond planet called Midnight.
No,
And they're like nothing can live outside.
And it's in the sort of train.
In a weird
Almost.
ship thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, that's good.
That is a good one. And also Mummy on the Orient Express. That is a. Did I tell you about that one?
Wait, what's it? Mummy on the Orient Express?
Yeah. It
no.
is. It is literally.
I'll show you that after.
You get. It's this thing called the Foretold, but it targets.
Say spoiler alert.
Spoiler.
But you know what's a really scary series?
RuPaul's
RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yeah, but
Okay.
when it targets the weakest person, but only you can see it. But as soon as you see it,
60 seconds to live.
66. You've got 66 seconds to live, and you can't run away from it. So where you could lock yourself in a room, and it would be behind you. It was spooky AF.
Cleverly done.
mm.
The one with, was it Martha or so? But it's where the girl does the drawing and people go missing.
Oh, people hate that episode, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
I quite like that.
Also, I think it was Rose.
Rose.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh,
Yeah. But
some proper skewy lighting.
No.
Are You My Mummy? The gas mask children.
Yes, actually, that one. Yeah.
Basically,
I love not knowing anything you guys are talking about.
any spooky episode in Doctor Who, you can just jump into
Mm.
because you don't need any background.
Mm.
That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And is there any way of preventing this imminent death, or is it just you
Uh,
die?
The Doctor figures it out right at the end.
Oh, okay.
Pause it, James. Don't watch it now.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll watch it after.
Pause it. Pause it. Pause it.
But yeah,
So,
do you want to?
Unless you guys can think of any other spooky TV shows.
Requiem. It was like sort of a sort of horror
I'm
type TV series. Really good. Yeah, just recommend it. It's on iPlayer.
All right.
Let's spin it again. Unless Brandon, you spin it.
What have we got left?
Not a lot, but let's go.
Let's spin.
Experiences? Nope. No.
Spooky movies.
Ooh, yay!
Ooh.
This is a good one.
Robbie, go.
Well, I have to go for the Cannibal Holocaust
Mm.
Yes, that.
because it is so messed up. Like, it's not necessarily spooky or creepy.
So it's not a horror film. It's
No, it's a horror film in the
Oh.
sort of sense that it is so entirely just wrong on so many levels. Although it's kind of interesting. I recommend it if you're not squeamish and you can stomach a lot of truly messed up stuff that they are not shying away from at all.
Well, in terms of horror movies, I'd say if I'm going for a one that's based more on like scares,
Yeah.
I'd probably shy more towards. Aren't you really funny?
James out here with his big
penis,
dong.
cool.
James got a big dong, guys.
I. That was rude. Insanely rude. I did not appreciate that.
James.
It doesn't matter, James. We might go over. We might not.
We do our own thing here in the podcast. But in terms of scares, I'm not really sure. I really like Get Out.
Yeah.
That was a good psychological.
Visit. I like The Visit.
What's the visit?
The Visit is when these two kids are sent to their grandparents' house,
Turns out.
which they haven't seen in years, and then obviously a weird occurrence happen. I really like that because like first of all the found footage aspect. Blair Witch is also a good example of that, but yeah, the found footage aspect of it is good. But if you want horror movie in terms of like gore, I'd say the original Saw is really good. Like the Saw movies, they progressively kind of get worse and worse. But the original Saw was really good at doing horror, but without it being too over the top.
And the ending is really clever.
Yeah, and the entire it's probably the most clever out of all of them.
I swear it's an indie film, right?
Yeah, it was basically an indie film, but they were hired on to do a lot more bigger projects.
I feel like they should have just kept it as an indie film because it.
Should have just been like
Really
a
well done.
hidden gem.
I haven't seen
Yeah.
Saw.
You should see the original Saw is very good.
It's on my list of things to watch, but I don't know how good I am with gore.
It's
Well, Saw would be a good one to test yourself out on because they also.
I've
don't
seen
hold
like
back.
snippets of it. Is the first Saw the one where he's got to like cut himself out of a handcuff?
cut himself out of a handcuff.
Yeah, they're like two of them in a bathroom or something.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they're chained to a pipe and they need to get out. Yeah, that's Saw 1. And while the Saw series is good, it just gets a bit convoluted and it gets really confusing. But yeah, Brandon.
I think I got to give an honourable mention to the 1994 It 3-hour marathon run. If you
Waha. 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 Anyway.
But yesterday,
What was that?
James, you're so
I did not. I
omnipotent.
didn't need you shaking your crotch in front of my face today.
You are so omnipotent on this podcast.
Yeah, he's
Well,
everywhere at once.
Yesterday, I watched the first 2 Scream films. They are
Oh.
good.
They are actually quite good. The Scream films.
Recommend.
They were good. I was watching it and I was like, shit, it's Shaggy. When did they get Shaggy in Scream?
Wait, really? Is he like one of the?
Yeah, Matthew, he's Stu. Have you seen Scream?
I've seen the first Scream.
Yeah, he's the. You know how there are partners?
Yeah.
He's the other one.
Huh. Oh, that's
There's
actually
no
really cool.
Shaggy.
Like, man.
I'll be right back.
There's a killer.
And in the second one, they were name dropping actors in Friends. So you know how Courtney Cox is in it, who is Monica in Friends.
Yeah.
They referenced David Schwimmer and Jennifer Aniston. They might have referenced more later on, but I sort of stopped paying attention because I was losing a game of FIFA and I was getting annoyed.
Oh.
To hear that.
But I thought, that's quite good. But if they were referencing them like they already had Friends as a thing. So who played Monica?
I don't know. It's like the whole
Yeah,
Nick,
so
Nick
Sam-
Fury,
yeah,
Samuel Jackson thing.
Yeah.
But do you want to wrap this up now? Because we got a decent amount.
I'd say recommend one more film. Life. It's got.
Oh, that's Ryan Reynolds, isn't it?
Yeah. It's not that scary, but I like the idea of it. It's cool.
Is there any other outstanding
we haven't
topics?
spoken about spooky video games, but I don't know very many.
No,
Well, I guess I'll quickly drop one because I'm the one who does all the spooky video games.
Undertale.
I'm not gonna.
Expansion 3.
Luigi Mansion's scary, man. Just shut up about that. I'd say spooky video games. Resident Evil 7's a good one. It's in terms of gore and just general like disgustingness is quite good. SCP Secret Laboratory is also a very good one. It's no SCP Containment Breach is actually a very good one. Plays with
that
horror.
thing. Is that the thing that you would?
Yeah, it plays with horror and fear quite a lot. And
Dead by Daylight. That's like the only one I know.
Dead by Daylight is also a good one, but that's more of a multiplayer.
Yeah.
Um,
There's, you know the one they recently, or like maybe 2 years ago, did a sequel to, and
Outlast?
Outlast. That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Oh,
First one.
another really good one is.
No?
Okay. Another really good one is White Day. It's this old Korean one that was it was on the PS2 and it was remade for the PS4. It's really good. It's set in a old Japanese school and it's really good. It has really good sort of horror stories behind the various ghosts you encounter, and it's really good at using sound to its advantage. Like literally, there'll be little things like you'll hear like a branch tap on a window, and it will really freak you out. Like it's really good, but the only problem is the gameplay is kind of annoying sometimes. But yeah, that's all I have to say.
Koreans are good at horror.
The southern ones.
Koreans are good.
They're good. The southern ones are good at the fictional ones. Northern ones are a bit good at the real life ones. But other than spooky illnesses, which I guess we've decided isn't very, it was a joke. That's about it.
So that was our speed run that ended
Of
up
the
not being too speedy,
Yeah.
but still, it was
We got them all done in 30 minutes or
there or
longer.
thereabouts.
Or longer. Ooh, 33. That's nice.
So 34.
So this has been
Bang! It's been the podcast.
bang
Bang out.
bang.
end
It's
it
the
there.
podcast.
End
Yeah.
it there.
No.
Bang out.